Count me in. Yes. Welcome to another episode of Stories to Create podcast right here at EOS Club. I'm your host, Cornell Bunting. I am so excited today. Of course, you guys know we're in a new season, season 7. Thank all you guys for the likes, the shares, the comments, the subscriptions, the downloads. Appreciate all you guys. Of course, this season we are looking for some sponsors for the show. So, if you guys feel compelled to be a part of what that journey look like, I am grateful for that. Today, we are talking to the man that is doing a whole lot here in Southwest Florida, not just Fort Myers. Because when I tell you this man is about his community, he has done some amazing work over the years with community, all that he does. But right now, we're going to tap into what he's got going on presently and then the journey. So we are talking to none other than Fort Myers Fire Chief, Mr. Tracy McMillion.
My brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is good. It's been a minute coming, man.
And it has. It
has been a minute coming. I got to tell you, the last time we got to hang out outside of this was that pumpkin thing that was.
It was, yeah. And I appreciate that. And that's something, my wife nonprofit does every year. We're in the third year, man, putting them pumpkins out there, free to kids. And powerful, man. Appreciate you always coming through, man.
Definitely.
Appreciate you always coming through.
Definitely, man. Listen, there's something that is close to us because, we work with a lot of the kids, so to know that you guys do that, we're like, listen, we got to be there. We got to pull up,
Appreciate that.
So,
Appreciate
that was beautiful. So what we want to do with our guests today, we want you to take them back to the early years, where you were born and where you grew up.
Okay, yeah. So I was born in Long Island, New York.
Okay.
So New Yorker, my dad was NYPD cop.
Okay.
Cool story is, and I'll come back to it later, but cool story is that he made detective on the day I was born.
Come on.
The day I was born, my dad made detective.
Wow.
So we lived out in the burbs for a little bit, but and every New Yorker's dream is to move to Florida.
Yes.
Every New Yorker's dream to move to Florida.
Yeah.
So when Pops retired, I'm the youngest of 5 children.
Okay.
Mom and dad in the home. So when we retired, we all loaded up in our little blue and white, I don't know what year it was, Suburban.
Yeah.
Not the Suburbans that we got now.
Right.
Them old school Suburbans, man.
Yeah.
With them roll down windows,
Yeah.
And we moved to Florida.
Okay.
And, we landed in Orlando.
Okay.
I remember as a little kid, the conversations were between Marco Island or Orlando.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, man, why didn't we go to Marco? In the early 80s?
Yeah.
Like 1981?
I know, because the value is.
Man, look. But it was nothing like that then.
Right,
so Orlando was the choice. And so I grew up in Orlando.
Okay.
And so grew up in a decent home. We didn't have a whole lot. Parents hustled every day, had some business ventures, which were great. So, but it's tough when you're trying to do business, and especially when you got family. So my upbringing was good. It was solid, but there were some things that I learned, that I couldn't get like assistance because of what my parents made. But we ain't have money. Right. So I learned from, my brothers on how to hustle. Right. So we'd actually leave on our way to elementary school. We go hit what we call the candy lady or the neighborhood store. So we go hit that. So our parents would give us a little lunch, peanut butter sandwich. I didn't say jelly. I said peanut butter. There was no jelly on that bread. It was no jelly. It was just peanut butter. And a quarter for some milk.
Okay.
But we hit the candy lady, take that quarter, buy some now-laters, buy some, whatever candy.
Yeah.
And then we hustle to the other kids. And then we go get some pizza.
There you go.
Then we go get some hamburgers, right? So I learned that.
Now you got some money.
Learn that hustle, So I'm thankful to God that was my upbringing because it taught resource.
Beautiful.
It taught us looking at situations and saying, hey, man, you may not have everything you need, but if you hustle, you work for it, you use your mind, you can figure out how to overcome that.
Yeah.
So elementary, middle school, all in Orlando, Florida. Went to Catalina Memorial, and then Oak Ridge High School. And I had the choice. I had the choice to either go to Jones High School or Oak Ridge High School. And Jones is a predominantly black high school. They got the green and then the orange, as far as the colors, looking just like a little baby fam, and that's where my heart was. That's where a lot of my buddies were going. But all 3 of my brothers had went to Oak Ridge.
Okay.
And one of my brothers were still going to Oak Ridge.
Okay.
So obviously, you know, hey, look, man, we ain't having all these kids go different places, bro.
Right,
You're going.
right,
So I went to Oak Ridge as well, and it was a beautiful environment for me.
Yeah.
It was great to be able to break in and have, you know, my older brother 2 years ahead of me there already, and he's a beast. So it was great to be able to be in that upbringing, to be able to be initiated into the high school world with mentors.
Right. Now, you talking on the upbringing, because you dad with that cop mentality. What was that like, man?
Oh, you're tough.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It was, look, it was tough.
Yeah,
it was tough. And he was a man's man. You know, he since passed away. But a man's man, and he held up a standard. And, you know, my mom was, you know, tough as well, and just as wonderful. But we had such a strong family bond.
Beautiful.
And they did such a good job with the 5 of us.
Yeah.
Not to put us in competition with each other.
I love that.
And even till today, man, we, you know, if someone's doing well or blessing on this, man, we just loving it, you know.
Yeah.
But if someone needs something, man, everybody's dropping everything to go help.
I love
and
that.
so they were able to raise us 5 in that such a way that we had that love for each other.
Right.
And I love that, and that just kind of created, you know, who we are today.
Right.
You know.
And you're at this time you're in the Orlando area, so you definitely got to go to Disney and all that.
Oh, come on, man. Yeah, we you know, so Orlando was, man, that was a great place to grow up, man. And you know, going back to being the youngest child, I laugh with my other brothers and sisters like, man, mom and dad was tired when they got to me, because I got to do so much, anything, you know. I was like, man, we were talking about things like, man, parents weren't even like checking your report card. They're like, this the last one. They're just like, they don't.
Oh, yeah.
So I just got to, you know, kind of, you know, live my life and you know, really hang with my brothers all the time. And so when they were doing the little things, Orlando had like the little, I guess we'd call like a teen club kind of scene where, you know, the under 18 or the 18, you know, up to about 21 or so, you could go hang out. And so at 14, I'm hanging with my brothers. They're going to this thing. And, you know, bass was, you know, was in style back then. So one of my brothers had a little Toyota with some big old 12s back then.
Oh, man.
So, you know, setting the stage of what life was growing up in the 90s. I graduated high school in 92. But growing up in Orlando in the, you know, the late 80s, early 90s as a teenager, as a young adult was just amazing.
That's
you
awesome,
know,
man.
The diversity, the things to do. You know, and we're Orlando, you can run right up to Daytona. So, you know, spring break weekend, you know, Black Spring Break weekend, we riding up, you know, we're going out and seeing those environments.
So the hairstyle, was you guys rocking the afro, or you were doing the Jerry curls?
Oh, man, so I wanted the S curl bad, man. I wanted S curl, but mom were like, nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing all that, right? So we had high top fades and the geometric designs, and I'm bald now, but naturally by birth I have blonde splatter in my hair.
Come on.
So I grew up as a young kid, man, leaving the playground. Everybody like, man, you got sand in your hair, man. You got sand in your hair. No, I just got natural blonde splatter in my hair. So when the rapper Kwame came out, and I'm not sure if you remember Kwame. He came out and he had a little bit of blonde in his hair. I was like, man, I'm cool now, bro. I naturally got this, man. But so that with my high top fade, man, was just a natural, you know, way of rocking it.
That's beautiful, man. Did you ever get into any of the sports?
Yeah, so you know, I played basketball was my number one sport. I did play football, and I ran track one season. One season, man. It was hot out there, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It was hot. I was smelling myself, and, you know, so I put all my chips into basketball. And I played, but never went college or anything like that. But just played in high school and did, you know, pretty decent. But was never that breakout star.
Wow. Now, you know, when you got into the work world, what was that transition like? You know, now you know that, you know, it's responsibility time. I got to man up now. What was that like?
So my whole thing through high school and maybe was a little bit of misguidance on my part, just not seeing the bigger picture, not seeing what the potential was. So my thing was, man, I'm just gonna go into the military, man. I was just gonna see the world that way. So but I had a little piece of scholarship, and a couple of my other siblings were like, man, you can always go to the military. Take that little piece of scholarship, do what you can with it, and get your education. I did the wrong thing with that scholarship. I enjoyed college way too much. So I found myself.
You were partying.
Man, look here, man. Look, and not focused, and And so I wound up being back in Orlando with my parents on the couch, and I went to trade school and learned how to do auto upholstery.
Oh, nice.
So, you know, sew seats and all that kind of thing, and was doing pretty decent with that. But my dad came to me one day and said, hey, look, man, you know, you got to do something else.
Yeah.
You got to get something with a pension. You got to get something where you can support a family. You got to get something where you can get up off this couch, my couch, this is my couch, and get your own couch, You got to do something that actually can pay bills at that higher level. So he recommended, and he put investment in me. He said, hey, look, I'll pay for whatever academy you want to go to.
Okay.
And so I didn't want to do law enforcement, so I went to Fire Academy.
Nice.
And so when I went to Fire Academy, man, I just fell in love.
Come on, man.
I found me.
Yeah.
I found my purpose. I found my life journey. I found this job was like made for me.
Yeah.
And so I went to Fire Academy at Mid-Florida Tech in Orlando, 1994. That's where it all started making sense.
Yeah.
That's where it all started coming together.
Yeah. And man, I got to tell you, just for you to find your purpose the way you did at the age you did, it was beautiful. Because like you're like one of the most respected fire guy down here, bro. Like when they talk about, one of those upstanding guys in the fire department, you hearing the name
I
Tracy.
appreciate that. Yeah,
man. So listen, man, that's been a beautiful thing. And I know a lot of our listeners want to kind of know a little bit of that, the journey in that. Because to be a firefighter is intense.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So you getting into that world, once you realize the love that you had for him, how was the experience day to day? What was that looking like?
It was great, So, to go back to fire school, it was great. I went through the process of fire school.
Yeah.
Was probably in the top 3 of my class.
Come on.
But, and I'm going to share this because this is a note that people just have to know of who I am and why I am this way.
Yeah.
But I had failure. Like I was one of the ones like, man, this dude go past, he's straight. But I failed my state test.
Ooh.
Because of whatever reason. I won't, this or that. Yeah. So I failed my state test and I had to go back and retake it.
Right.
And I was like, man, why does this happen to me?
Yeah.
Retook it, was good.
Yeah.
And then another story is that as I'm waiting to get hired at the city of Orlando, because that's where I want to work, man. That's where I grew up, City of Orlando Fire Department, man, and they're an amazing department till this day.
Yeah.
But before I got that opportunity, I took a little job at Department of Corrections. I worked there for a while.
Okay.
And so Orlando hired every other year.
Okay.
And so I waited at Department of Corrections. The other year came up. They're doing a minority recruitment.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, good. I'm good, bro. I'm
You're
a brother.
good.
I'm good.
You going in,
what I'm saying? I got my fire cert. I got this, right?
Yeah.
But they came out, so you had to be non-certified.
Wow.
I was already certified. So there again, you're like, man, why is this happening to me? That's when I started looking statewide.
Right.
But in the middle of all that,
Yeah.
I kind of got jammed up and I got arrested. And bro, so I'm looking at, man, I finally found what my dream was. I found out what my goal was. I found what my love was.
Yeah.
And here I got this blemish now on my record.
Yeah.
Right. And just arrested, not convicted, whatever.
Right.
Did 6 months on house arrest.
Yeah.
Funny story.
Yeah.
Tangent, sorry I'm squirreling, but funny story is, while on house arrest with the little monitor on my ankle, I went to my Department of Corrections interview.
Right.
So I went to the prison while on house arrest for the interview to work in the prison.
Come on.
Got the job too. That's a true story.
Yeah.
It's a true story.
Yeah.
True story. But I was off house arrest by the time the job offer and all that came in.
Right.
But that just goes to the boldness and the confidence.
That is bold, man.
That is bold.
Because you couldn't even, you probably couldn't even hide that thing.
Nah, I crossed my legs and everything, bro. But that was, that's just God's goodness and His glory, just showing that He can do whatever He desires to do when He desires to do it.
Yes.
So, but that is just kind of what part of my makeup is of knowing the overall theme is that I always feel like I know it's by the grace of God that I'm here.
Right.
It's not because of Tracy.
No.
It's not because of what he has.
Right.
It's because someone greater than me
Yes.
has allowed this opportunity for
Yes.
purpose.
Yeah.
And that purpose is not for me, it's for others.
Right.
And so, so going through that whole transition, looked, throughout the whole state while working at the Department of Corrections, came down here to Fort Myers where my brother Scott, my older brother, he's just, all my siblings have always been a huge part of my life and really looking out for baby bro. But he being right next to me, 2 years older than me, has always been there for me.
Beautiful.
So I came down, slept on his couch, did the job interview, wound up, coming
down
in,
here.
Down here.
Okay.
Because he had graduated from Florida State and was living down here. And but nonetheless, got the job here, came in number 3.
Come on.
Actually, I came in number 2.
Okay.
And they were hiring 2. And I'm like, that's awesome. But then someone got their military points, would bump me to number 3.
Bump you to number 3.
I said, man, so I was, so I wasn't gonna get hired right away. But
right.
And this is how God works. One of the guys had worked at the department for a long period of time, just out of the blue.
Yeah.
decided to leave the job and go sell honey baked hams in Tennessee. I said, that's God. That's God right there. That's God right there. Right,
I mean,
right.
how else you explain that?
You know what I'm saying?
Explain that.
So that opened up the third spot.
Yeah.
And so in that third spot, I was able to get hired in 1996. Actually, it was October 17th.
Okay.
1996.
1996. Fort Myers.
That's it. This is year 30.
Come on,
in
man.
this community. So
come on, man. Oh my goodness, that's amazing, man.
So they gave me a shot, and I worked at the city of Fort Myers for about 6.5 years.
Yeah.
And then I took another little job right down the road here at Iona McGregor Fire District, where I worked 16 years. So I have two fire families. Man.
Yeah.
I love my city family.
Right.
I love my Iona family. Man,
Yes.
I was able to actually blossom and grow so many different mentors and people that sold into my life and open up doors and opportunity.
Yeah.
It's unreal. It's unreal just to say the amount of care that I've had from other people. You know, it's just unreal.
Let me ask you, man, because, you know, in 9/11 was a huge thing.
Yes.
And, you know, we saw it in a certain way, and, you know, but through the lens of the fire department.
Yes, sir.
What was that looking like, man?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So I remember the day I'd actually just gotten off work, was at the house, married, was cutting the grass. The wife came outside and said, "Hey, baby," and started telling me what's going on. Went inside, saw it, was just devastated.
Yeah.
So, and we have a kindred spirit of brothers and sisters in the fire service.
Right.
Regardless of where you are throughout the country or throughout the whole world, if you're a firefighter, you just have that brotherhood, that sisterhood just automatically. And to see these firefighters going into what we know just through experiences, you're not coming out of that.
Right, no.
You are going to get as many people out of that building,
Right.
but more than likely you're not.
Yeah.
And that was hard.
Yeah.
That was hard to see that people going in and knowing that these people have families and loved ones and you know, had maybe plans. Maybe some people had a cruise booked or had this going, knowing that they had life going on.
Right.
But that moment came that day, and they had to, you know, give their life for that ultimate sacrifice that we all sign on for.
Right.
You know, and that kind of made things a little bit more real.
Yeah.
That this job that we have, and I know from that day forward, every day I left the house and I kissed my wife and said I'm going to work. I realized that today could be that day.
Could be that day.
Right. Don't take it for granted.
No.
You know, and that became something that really, really resonated even from, you know, 2011 till today, that, you know, today could be that day.
You know, man, and it's beautiful how you went where you went about with your wife and all that stuff. But have you guys ever had those conversations where she just look at you and just hope that you get back to her later today?
Yeah. We do, you know, and one of the things that we try to do is just, you know, love in the moment.
Yes.
You know, be real in the moment. You know, as you know, old church folks say, give them the flowers while they yet live.
Right.
And so not try to put off for tomorrow what you could do today. And those kind of things. But yeah, you know, it's always that thing where, you know, that hug when, you know, I'd go to work, and it's a little different now because, you know, you know, I mean, you know, I'm an office dude, you know, a little different now, but now the conversation is a little different. Like today might be my last day working today, you know, say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, whatever, you know. But as far as like dying in the fire early on, when I was still riding a truck, and I rode a truck for about 18 years, it was that thing where hey, we got to be real. It was never really spoken, you know, but you could be felt. You know, and that made it good. And we always made sure, you know, when I walk around the station, you know, while I'm working, to have those phone calls. And those things really just helped us to love each other a little bit differently on a more intellectual, more spiritual level, to make sure, you know, obviously have the intimacy, but just making sure that we knew each other through conversation. So,
you know, I've always seen the attire, and I never realized how heavy it was until I did the American climb.
Yes.
But walk the listeners through just a little bit of the amount of weight between the gear and the stuff you guys got to carry. How much pound we looking at?
So you're probably around 70, 75 pounds.
Come on.
So, you know, by the time you put on the, you know, the structural firefighter boots and the bunker pants, which is basically a 3-layer material, and the, you know, the jackets and the suspenders and the air pack and the helmet and all this stuff, it gets pretty heavy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's really because of trying to make sure, even if you're in the fire, your body is not getting too much damage.
Exactly, and that's why it has that, you know, what we call the 3 layers. Technically only 2, but you have the outer coat, which is designed to be able to take in all that heat and absorb all that heat. And then you have an inner layer, which actually keeps you pretty safe as well. But there's a little air layer. So just through chemistry, we know that as air gas actually gets hot, it begins to expand. So our coat will kind of puff up just a little bit to kind of have that middle air layer that kind of helps to cool. Because some of these structures we go into, man, it could be well into 1,200 degrees, maybe about 400 or 500 at the floor level, in which we get down low and we crawl to do our work. But it still that's very hot. And so that gear is there to protect you as much as possible. And then when you start feeling that heat to a certain level, we got to back out. Because it's really starting to get too hot.
Now, the movies have always portrayed this look for firefighters where you guys were up on the second floor, and instead of running down the stairs, you'd grab it on a pole and you're sliding down.
So we love our movies. We love Hollywood. It makes us look good. There are some things that are a little bit like, we ain't never gonna do that. We ain't not even ever gonna happen. We were watching the show the other day, and I'm like, what are they doing? Why? The door's right there. Why are you? And so we look at the different writers in Hollywood who've gotten a lot better, man. They've gotten a lot of fire service personnel to come in to be advisors and whatnot. But they make us look good, man. They really make us look like we can do the incredible. And I'm like, man, this man's sliding down a pole. The stairs right there, man. Walk down the stairs, Why would you slide down the pole? But in the station we do have a fire pole in the station that we do actually utilize.
So the pole is there.
There is a pole. But a pole on like somebody else's building or something like that, we're not doing that. But we do have a pole in our station, and guys use it. I used to use it. I don't use it anymore, but used to use it back in the day.
Wow, man. So now you like the big chief, from, being in the field to now in the office, for a lot of individuals, just to kind of understand what that transition like that looked like for you. Was you ready for that transition when that transition had happened?
I think so. I think everything had, purposely happened the way it needed to. I was involved in a lot of succession programs to be prepared for it. So I went from on the road to becoming a training captain, then a training battalion chief, then a training division chief. And I went from a training division chief back to the city of Fort Myers as a deputy chief. And working as a deputy chief, my goal when I came back to the city was to work with Chief John D. Caulfield, who was the chief then, who had a lot of years of being a chief, 15 years up in Rochester, New York, but he was here in Fort Myers. I've been here since about 2017 when I got here in 2019. So I was like, man, what a great dude to glean some information from. What a great guy to actually be tucked up underneath and kind of learn from, So I felt really good about that.
That's beautiful.
But we had about 6-8 months together. He came to my office one day and said, hey, I'm going back to Rochester.
Wow.
So I'm like, bro, I got here because and
he's telling you the battalion path.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, okay. And that was November of 2019 that he left. And they made me an interim chief, and then December they made me the real chief. But
beautiful.
I believe I was ready for it.
Oh yeah.
And I believe that had been put in the right position in the right spaces throughout, and had dealt with, as we talked about earlier, so many different failures that it gave me a mind of empathy. Gave me a heart for the people. I love relationships. And I love being authentically me. And so I love that space and the opportunity that I had in 2019. And of course, as soon as I took that, man, we had COVID. We had civil unrest. Man, we had Hurricane Ian. Man, we had Milton, Helene, all these different things. But I believe what had already been put into me ahead of time had made me prepared. Because there's a lot of things I could draw from. It's like, hey, man, we got this going on. Well, I'm reminded of this. And could go through that. So
man. Listen, man, I remember that day too, man, when I saw the announcement. I was like, yo, that's beautiful. Right choice, man. And because I was trying to think, so where we lived in the same community with Chief Diggs.
Yeah.
So we had a house in there, but we didn't have no yard. So we had to figure a few things out. But, you guys were making adjustments in the city that was, people were starting to see a lot of what that looked like. for a lot of people that don't necessarily understand some of what you guys have like teamed up and have already accomplished, because we can see a lot of it, is talk to the listeners a little bit on that.
Yeah, so some of the biggest things that when I came into office that our team worked together really hard on is to grow our fire department.
Yes.
Because in the downturn of 2008, 10, whatever you want to put the time frame on, we lost 20 firefighters.
Right.
So our fire department, when I took over, didn't have the staffing numbers. Didn't have the resources. Didn't have the stations. Didn't have all the things that we needed in order to protect a rapidly growing city. So what we looked at was strategically how we could actually grow it. And so over the course of 2020 to 2022, we hired close to about 60 people.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we were able to actually bolster up the amount of firefighters that we had.
Yeah.
We were able to add 2 more stations.
Beautiful.
We were able to actually, increase our apparatus, and we have more of that coming even today.
Yeah.
And so what we're trying to do is change the pendulum of actually being, reactive, being proactive.
Right.
So as we work with our community development and work with our CRA and work with all these other entities in the city, even Lee County, to figure out where growth is happening, we're being strategic to say, if you're building this, Amazon, beautiful, beautiful opportunity for our community, we need to be able to protect Amazon. We need to have the resources to take care of Amazon. So we have to be mindful and strategic of saying, if this is coming, we need to do X, because this is going to affect us, and so that's what we continually to do on a daily basis, and we have such a great environment in our executive team of how we can just be real, and we can argue, and we can fight, and we can plan, and it just makes us so much better, and I love it.
So, a lot of people always have this question on, why, when sometimes firefighters get to a house or, somewhere that's caught on fires, most of the time the fire look like it's not going to be able to be controlled and stuff. Why you think individuals don't necessarily have those distinguisher or even know how to work the distinguisher that they have?
Yeah, and it's just, it's this ongoing thing, and that's one of the things that we try to do now with community risk reduction is getting out into our public and, one, make sure people have working smoke detectors.
Right.
Make sure you have working smoke detectors,
yes.
public, right?
Yes.
I don't want to be on the phone with you hear that chirp.
Yeah.
Come on, man, change them batteries, right?
Yeah.
You want to have working, smoke detectors as well as extinguishers in your home.
Right.
And the good thing about it is if you have the knowledge, even if you live in a multifamily such as an apartment, there's going to be, fire extinguishers placed, within that particular, building and the floors, know where they are, know how to use them, but it's one of those things we take for granted. It's one of those things we say, it'll never happen to me, right? Why would I'm okay, and but you really want to make sure that you have it. And my wife will laugh with anybody because, when we go to a hotel, she knows that, hey, look, man, I'm checking the exits, I'm checking this, I'm looking at this. I got the whole emergency escape plan, Cornell. Hey, we got it down. We go to a restaurant, she already knows, I know you want to sit here because you can see the door and there's the exit here, the exit there.
Right.
But that's just the life we live. And so trying to take that mindset and translate that or give it to our community to kind of say, hey, man, just be mindful about these little things is what we try to do at our community risk reduction to get people to know how to use these different things to help make their life safer.
Yeah. Now, we had touched on it in the earlier part of the show, but, you guys had started a non-profit organization, you and your wife, and, in the community with the youths and stuff like that. Just, talk a little bit on that,
Yeah, so it's the McMillion Foundation, and it's designed for, helping out youth as well as helping out people that want to get into public service. So we're a family of public servants. And so we want to make sure, my wife's a, school teacher by trade, has another small business, but she also has this McMillion Foundation because we want to be able to give teachers supplies. As a teacher, she knows that, hey, look, at the start of school year, you come out of your own pocket to make these things happen for your students. So try to have scholarships for these teachers. Try to have scholarships for people that want to be firefighters, police officers, EMTs, and so we've actually funded a lot of tuition for them.
Amazing.
Because sometimes the barriers just getting that tuition paid.
They
can do the work,
right,
and they have the talent, They just ain't gonna find it, you know. So if there's a way that we can, you know, close that gap and allow people to be able to get to their future, get to their dreams, that's what we try to do with that foundation. But then every year we try to make sure we do that pumpkin patch. And that's something that we realize is that, you know, in our communities, a lot of times our kids and our families didn't have that experience. We had to go outside of that. And some people don't maybe not have the transportation or whatever it might be. So we try to bring that into our community where any kid can come get a free pumpkin, carve it right there, or I should say decorate it right there, and take the pumpkin home. You know, throw up the little hay, take little pictures, man, and start feeling like a little fall in Southwest Florida. But that's just something that we're really committed to. So that whole nonprofit is really designed, man, just to get more people to serve.
I love that. I love that,
man.
With everything that's going on current, you know, as we move into a new year and look to be more community engaging and more unite with everyone, how you seeing that shaping?
I think it's working well. I mean, there's a lot of things, different events, you know, especially in Southwest Florida. Pretty in tune with that, with, you know, the Dunbar, you know, festival community, things that, you know, you guys are doing, other people are doing. I believe I'm starting to see more and more people learning to support. You know, and I know you've had her on her show before, but you know, like take for example, Blue Nut. That's my girl. That's my girl. I want to be able to support her any way I can. And one of the things that I love about her is that she is a supporter.
She is.
Unbelievably, man. You know,
supporter,
I remember, you know, with my wife's business, she does like little soaps and things, and Blue Nut was one of the first ones to hit it up and support that. And I'm like, wow, what, you know, and so how can you not support somebody who supports so many others? And so I think our community is starting to realize, hey, man, we are better together. We can do so much more through synergetic, you know, efforts. You know, if you're doing this, let me support him. I ain't got to do what you're doing. I can come support you in what you're doing.
That's it.
You know? And as we learn that, hey, look, man, not everybody has to be respectfully the star. You know, if I can help you shine, guess what? Your shine is going to shine on me, and I'm going to be shining.
That's it.
Right?
You know, be shining anyway.
You see what I'm saying? So it's got to be one of those things, and I'm starting to see a little bit more of that where people are starting to maybe respectfully, and I'm just a straight shooter, you know, putting down the egos a little bit.
Oh, definitely.
Putting down, you know, the platforms of saying, how can we, not I, but how can we make this? And when we do this, then us can do a lot better.
That's beautiful you say that, man, and I feel like more information is starting to be shared and put out. And then the awareness is now among the diverse community. So
we can support each other. And you know, and then, you know, if an event that you do only got 50 people, and my event only got 50 people, and your event only got 50 people, why not put it all together? Now we got 150 people.
That's it.
Versus actually all this individuality, right? You need chairs, I need chairs, they need chairs. Let's just all get the chairs together. You know, put our stuff together collectively. So I'm hopeful that in 2026 there'll be more of that.
More of that collective, definitely, man. And you know, that was one of the things we just had in our meeting when I told the team is, listen, we need to find those organizations that's doing stuff that we can be a part of what they're doing, and they can be a part of what we're doing. It's a beautiful thing. I like that, man.
Power and partnership, man. Partnership.
That's it. You know, right now in the city, you know, because of, you know, the development between the city, the police department, you guys, what is that looking like with like, because I know they have a new chief there.
Yes.
And then the city manager, I don't know if I've ever met the new city manager, but what is those relationship looking like for you guys?
So we actually have a pretty tight department head type style of leadership. So our current city manager, Marty Loring, he actually has every other week meeting where all the department heads sit down together.
Amazing.
So if you're the department head of IT, communications, finance, human resources, police department, fire department, all of us sit down at a table and we talk shop.
Beautiful.
And so that kind of keeps us connected as far as how we're working and growing and moving in the city.
I like that.
So that kind of keeps that alignment, if you will, which is really good. And my experiences with the city manager, that, you know, he's been on probably close to 5 or 6, if not 7 years, has been really good. Where I actually can come to him and be my authentic self.
Yeah.
And if you know me that I don't change regardless of what room I go in. I'm gonna be Tracy, right?
Yes, you're gonna be Tracy.
And I appreciate the space that he's allowed to be able to say our personal views and experiences on things that we're planning.
Beautiful.
And that helps to strengthen the city. So
I love that.
I do love that relationship, and working with the other directors and having that same type of ability to do that and to be authentically you and be coming from a place of your experience helps us to be better as a city. Do we always get it right? Probably not. No, but are we trying?
Yeah.
That's the main thing, is that we have a heart to do it right.
Beautiful.
May not always hit the mark, but we're trying to hit that mark.
Growing up, what was your favorite song?
Growing up was my favorite song. Oh, man. So my favorite song probably was, I don't know if it's been canceled or not, but I love me some Raphael Sadiq. I love me some Tony, and I love the movie Boys in the Hood.
Okay.
And so one of my songs was just Me and You.
Yeah.
It was a song that came down. I remember the character was driving his little convertible Volkswagen.
Yeah.
And that song was playing. Nia Long was the love interest, and everybody loved us some Nia Long. So that was my favorite song, one of my favorite songs that I had. So I like the R&B, the slow R&B kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and this question, just to pick your brain just a little bit, but if you had to choose between Prince, Luther Vandross.
Ooh, man. Prince or Luther Vandross? Wow. So, don't hate me, Luther. I'm going to have to go with Prince. And the reason why,
Yeah.
Luther, man, that's man, look. But Prince had so much variety in his music of things.
True. That is true.
Where he could go from straight rocking out, rock and roll on the guitar to, some love ballad.
Yeah.
And he would take it so many different levels.
Yeah,
where Luther was always cool.
Yeah.
He was always cool. Was always, he was always there. But with Prince, man, he could hit some different things, some different levels. So it could actually catch me probably in any mood.
Yeah.
If I'm going to the gym, there's a Prince song. If I'm, hanging out with the wife, is a Prince song.
Yeah.
So I got to go with Prince. But that's a good one there, boy. That's a hard one, boy.
Hey, you heard him explain now, so don't hold him to it.
Yeah. Die hard Luther's out there, boy.
I know, man. Now, as far as with the South go, and then they talk about the soul food.
Yes.
What's your take on that? Like you
feel
feel the soul is in the food still, like as how it used to be in the older days?
I do. I've had some life changes, where, not a vegan or anything like that, but currently just not eating meat, haven't eaten meat in a while. But I found a lot of the soul food now I'm looking at are those food from the ground. There's so many different bases to recipes and fruits and things like that I've now invested in. Looking at some more of the African or the Caribbean type of lifestyle eating and things, and not eating as much. And so, but I do think one of the things we're missing in Southwest Florida is that soul food circuit of food that you can go to. Lauren, with Southern Charm does oh my gosh, she's amazing.
Yeah, she does. She does. She need a bigger space.
She does need a bigger space, and space that's a little bit more prominent. You got some places, Jonesy's Barbecue, all these other different places that do great work. But I think we just need a little bit more of a presence of that soul food, and there's some other Southern food out there, but there's that soul food that really just needs to be a little bit more on Front Street.
Right. And because, you have a lot of people now that have started to wonder what's going on First Street, because it's almost like it's the main drag in the downtown area.
Right.
But I don't think we even have a soul food spot.
No, there's a southern food place, Fancy's, that opened up on I believe it's on was that on Bay Street?
Bay Street.
So that's there. But I think there's room for something a little bit more soulful in nature. Whereas that is great southern food, but I'd love to have something that has a little bit more of that soul food touch. That kind of you can go for breakfast or brunch, or definitely some dinner or something like that. And they know come from Orlando. There's a lot of different places that vibe, and they do the the afternoon brunches and things like that. And, us, there again, you had Downtown Disney and House of Blues, where they'd actually have some different things on Sundays where they have like the after church thing. But those are different opportunities for our community and for our city, hopefully through the McCullum Hall project or something like that, that gets redone. That maybe that could be a space for that, where that could actually come in
that would be pretty cool,
and close that gap.
That would be really cool. As this first quarter, get going, what are you guys looking to accomplish with, the community and, them to see what you guys are coming with?
So one of the things that we're doing, and we're in, we just completed our 5th year of a strategic plan. So we're starting a strategic plan, and we'll put that out on our Facebook socials. But we want people from the community to come in and say what they want from their fire department.
Oh, I like that.
And that'll be on February 23rd, and we'll get that put out there. But we need to hear from our people. And that was the thing that was missing in the last one we did 5 years ago, is that we didn't have the voice of our people. It was during COVID, so it's a little tough. So we want that. But we really want to be ingrained in it, and that word partnership. So we're trying to really get involved, and we're working with, community partner schools at Franklin Park, Colonial Elementary, as well as Fort Myers. We want to get more into the high schools. One of the things that hopefully our folks are seeing is that we go to our football games. We fly the flags of the school that's closest to that fire department for that day on Friday. And we really want to just be that neighborhood fire department.
I love that.
Even though Fort Myers is growing and we're getting busier, we want our firefighters to still have name recognition or a relationship recognition, where you may see us in the grocery store, may see us on that call, or see us at one of those football games, and you feel comfortable to come up and approach, and we can feel comfortable to come up and approach and have that relationship. So we want that from the very newest firefighter to myself, to be able to have that relationship and that feeling of, this is my fire department.
I love that.
They're here for us.
Now, for organizations that are doing like community engaging events, and they would like to have the fire department there, how in advance do you guys need notice?
We'd like to have more than 2 weeks. But God forbid if that doesn't work out, we'll make it happen. We're used to running emergencies anyway, so we can make it happen, but we prefer for the planning to be able to get the right people in the right spaces to have about 2 weeks notice. We try to show up to everything that we can. One of the things that's a little bit different from the fire department than maybe some other agencies, we get a lot of folks looking for donations, and we don't have a nonprofit wing of the fire department to really donate, but what we can do is be present. What we can do is bring, some of the swag out. What we can do is bring some energy and some things like that.
Because kids go crazy for the
and our guys and guys and girls that work in our department, man, I tell you, I'm so proud. They're amazing. They're really amazing, and they have a heart for our community, a heart for our people. So I love that. I love that.
And I know, some of my listeners are pondering on this too, is why is it that females get so crazy when they see a firefighter guy?
Well, it's just what it is. It is what it is. I mean, sometimes things ain't got to be explained, Cornell. I mean, sometimes it just is what it is. No. No, there's just there's something that's special about a uniform. Even going back into the movie world, the Officer and Gentleman, that whole, and that dude was looking sharp in his whole white uniform, military thing, and but police, fire, and all that is just something that's just legendary and just special about that uniform, I know even when I'm with my wife, I put on my little dress uniform. I think I go up a couple points. I think I go up a couple points, so so something about that, that bling into the badge or this and that just adds a little something to it. But I think it's the nature of knowing that this person, maybe at a very unconscious level, that this person would lay down their life for you. That adds a little bit of risk to it. That adds a little bit of bravery to it. I think that actually just would make someone just be like, man, that's pretty sexy right now.
You heard it. You heard it. This is beautiful, man. For young boys out there, or even females that want to pursue a career in this field, what kind of advice would you give to them?
First and foremost, man, I always tell people, man, this is the best job out there. It's the best job out there. And not being disrespectful to any other career, to me, it's just the best job out there. But that's for me. But I would tell them, hey, look, you just need to channel your energy and your thoughts.
Yes.
Get involved in something, whether it be sports, Boy Scouts, this, that, whatever. Be involved in something. And then when you come of age, like we run a cadets program.
Okay.
And so you can, at age 14 to 18, you can be part of our cadets program.
Okay.
You come out on every Monday.
Yeah.
Our firefighters work with you. We start teaching the stuff. And we just hired one of our cadets who actually was with our program for quite some time. He actually started yesterday.
Amazing.
It's crazy, right?
Amazing.
18 years old. Started yesterday. Actually, he's 19 now, but started yesterday. So that would be my main thing, is getting connected. Go take a tour of the fire department. And that's one of the things that people don't even realize too, is that you don't have to be with a school. You don't have to be with some community organization. You can just simply either call, knock on the door, and we're going to show you our stuff. We love to show us stuff and show this young person, because that young person is really us.
Oh, yeah.
That's who we were at one point in our life.
At one point,
yeah. So that's what I tell them, and say, look, and the other thing is to stay optimistic. It's so oftentimes in the world that we live today, my feeling is that people tend to close the door on their dreams and not realizing that you can achieve your dreams. You can achieve what your heart's desire are. You just got to put that work in, put that hustle in, put that education in to make it happen, but you can do whatever you want to do. And that's what sometimes we see people who don't maybe get outside of the four streets within their neighborhood or wherever it might be, and sometimes it seems like that glimmer has faded a little bit, and not realizing the potential and the opportunity that everybody has. And so I want to make sure that hopefully people can keep that glimmer and that optimism high and open.
Amazing.
And I say that even at 52 years old, I got opportunity. I got dreams that I still can do. Life ain't over.
You ever go back to Long Island?
I have not. It's been a while. It's probably been, probably close to 20, 30 years since been back that way. So, my brothers and siblings will talk about it when them, pass by the old house or whatever. But for me, I moved to Orlando when I was 7. So a lot of my memories,
most of your memories
is Orlando. So I could roll down the street and just memories just start happening. Or pass by a certain place. So for me, that's home. Even though that my start was in New York. That's
beautiful, man. Man, we really appreciate you coming out today.
My pleasure, man.
This was really dope, man.
So
for people that want to get in contact with you guys, the fire department, how can they do that?
So they can actually hit up our website, FortMyersFire.com, FortMyersFire.com, and that's actually spent out. Or you can actually just call the office, which is actually 239-321-7311.
Ooh, okay.
That's 239-321-7311.
Yes, that's amazing.
And if you need me specifically, hit up my assistant, Miss Alexis Williams, who's amazing, and she'll get you everything that you need.
There you go.
And we are here for our people. We want to be here for our people.
Oh, my goodness. I'm loving it. Listen, guys, there you have it. Chief Tracy.
My brother.
Yes, sir. This was beautiful.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. This is good. Listen, guys, until our next episode where we have another decorative guest right here at EAS Club. Thank you.